In addition to dozens killed or injured, hundreds of others witnessed this attack. Some rushed to help. Others stood in shock, having barely missed them being hit themselves.
Many of those people also work along the street and had to return to their jobs the very next day. Whitney Miller spoke with some facing that trauma and those offering their support.
This tragedy has touched so many people in so many different ways. Not only are the families mourning their loved ones, the hospitality and service industry is also hurting on Bourbon.
At the core of New Orleans is hospitality. At the core of hospitality is humanity.
Mark Shetler is still trying to process the pain of New Year's Day in New Orleans.
This was such a dehumanizing event, that level of violence, and it's so opposed to who we are and what we do.
Shetler is an advocate for men and women who work in the New Orleans service industry. And since the attack, he's been making his rounds on Bourbon.
What's up, bro? What's going on, man?
Like Terrence Price, who says he had only just missed the attacker by a few hours.
I just missed it because I probably would have been at this door.
Mark is handing out flyers that list resources for workers that Terrence says are afraid.
Everybody just nervous and don't know what to do.
You know, people say, oh, if you need this, go here. If you need this, go there. But like, it's hard to go there. Yeah. It's hard to pick up the phone. It's hard to go onto the website. Like that's easier said than done. So trying to help people navigate that last mile.
One stop along that mile is We Help Nola, a local organization that's providing free therapy and mental health services to hospitality workers affected by the tragedy.
There's a lot of trauma and fear attached to what happened, rightfully so.
And that trauma can go unchecked as workers are expected to pick up the city's pieces.
Resiliency and being a resilient city and a resilient industry, and I think people are tired of having to have that resiliency and having to, consistently go through just such traumatic events and what feels like punches after punches.
Mark wants to lessen those blows and help workers who are trying to keep the city and themselves afloat.
People are in a rock and a hard place in that way, right? You don't have a lot of options but to keep showing up.
In New Orleans, Whitney Miller, WWL, Louisiana.
Next week, a number of bars and restaurants will feature specials with 100% of the proceeds going to the victims. That includes Acme Oyster House, where one of the victims, Terrence Kennedy, worked. You can find a full list of places participating on our website, WWLTV.com. We also have links to other ongoing fundraisers.